RMC is supported by MonsterJoysticks.com. Level up your retro gaming with their joysticks featuring genuine Sanwa arcade parts. And OneClickPrint.com for your photos on canvas, acrylic, gifts and more. Local craftsmen and global delivery. Hello Cave Dwellers and welcome to another Tech Nibble. California games. No self-respecting retro gamer hasn't played this in one form or another, whether it be on the Apple II, C64, Amiga, Amstrad CPC, Atari 2600, Lynx, ST. You get the idea. This game was on every platform going from its release in 1987 by developer and publisher Epix. You may even pride yourself on having played multiple versions and have picked out your favourite as a connoisseur of the series. With a massive 300,000 copies of the game sold in the first 9 months alone, California Games built on Epic's success with previous Games titles, World, Summer, Winter Games and more. But when you've ported the game to practically every system available, where do you turn to next to cash in on the coolest game around? A game clearly cooler than I could ever have hoped to have been. Yes, that is a young me, as you can tell from the hair. So it was in 1988 that Epix came up with the answer, and that was the VHS tape, and VCR California Games was born. Yes, you heard that right. It's become something of an icon of the 80s and early 90s, the humble VHS cassette tape. And the goal of the game? Well, I'll let someone a little bit more radical than me explain the objective.
This is it, your chance to show your stuff. Compete against your friends to see who can win a race down the California coast. The first person to drive from San Francisco to San Diego Airport with $100 left to buy a plane ticket is the winner.
Well, that sounds pretty easy, but how well has the California games we know been ported to the tabletop format? This then is our California Games game board, and I have to say it really doesn't remind me much of this. It doesn't remind me of this. And it certainly bears no resemblance to this. So we roll the dice and make our way up the board, trying to earn that $100 and get to the finish, making money as we go and losing money for such things as partying all night and, well...
Giant fruit fly inspection. Pay $5 to have your melons checked.
That's definitely an event that I don't remember in the C64 version of the game, and if you're thinking of giving Epix the benefit of the doubt there, we'll take a look at this TV commercial for the game.
We're here to prove just how exciting the new VCR California Games really is. On the right, actual scenes from its real-life contests. The action is intense, with hundreds of events you play against your friends. On the left, Tammy. Let's let Brad decide which he prefers. There you have it. VCR California Games. The obvious choice.
Yes, the entire commercial is little more than the aforementioned melon inspection, and I don't think Epix deserve the benefit of the doubt this time. So where does the VHS tape come into it? Well, that happens when we land on the red squares and we have the opportunity to earn some more money. In fact, here are just some of the delights from the tape. All of the classics are here then, from the half pipe, something I was always too scared to throw myself off of at the local skate park, through to surfing and BMXing, while avoiding such dangers as a blown out flip-flop as we make our way down the game board. My friend has 2 left feet, you know. He wears flip-flips. It's not all good news though when you play the tape. This vert was clearly too intense. I mean, we could all see that coming, and it loses me $5. He should probably put a shirt on too. That's quite ungentlemanly attire. It's predictably fair to say that the VHS adds little more to the game than a simple deck of cards would, less so in fact because if you play it a lot you might even memorise the next scene, although at nearly an hour long there are a lot of scenes packed into it. On a positive note though, the scenes are super short, as quick in fact as picking up and reading a card. The video is a very small part of the overall game and it doesn't become overbearing in making you watch long and repetitive scenes. I kinda like it. It's no Cones of Dunshire, but it's an enjoyable game nonetheless for a quick nostalgic blast with your friends. And by nostalgic I mean a reimagining of the past where we were all as cool as shit and not breaking into garages on council estates. It's easy to pick up and easy to play assuming you have a VHS player, but in the event that you struggle to follow the rules, an event such as a lobotomy, there's this handy caveat.
The rules are short and simple, but after all, this is California. If you don't like them or understand them, make up your own. It's your game, you brought it.
That's not how this works. That's not how any board game works. Now Epix clearly thought that they were onto something with this concept because they also released play-action VCR football and VCR golf, or for those who didn't have the luxury of the VHS player, or perhaps a baby sister who put a plate into it and ruined movie night for the whole family. Yes, I'm looking at you, Hannah. You could play head-on football or head-on baseball, which used an audio cassette tape instead of the VHS. That could have worked quite well, to be honest, especially if you had a small tape player in the middle of the board. What we didn't see from Epix were conversions of winter or summer games. One round of board games releases seemed to be enough, but if winter games was more your thing, then you could come close with Ocean's release of Winter Olympics, a VCR game from 1987, licensed from Mindscape. Games publishers flirting with the VHS format to get the most out of their franchises was not isolated to Epix alone, and to this day our favourite video games are packaged up in the tabletop format to appeal to a different type of gamer. Fallout Monopoly or Doom the board game for example. But what you won't find in these of course is the VHS tape and the sheer joy of chuntering cogs whirring up to deliver bikini-clad beauty contestants and shirtless skateboarders. The general consensus after a gaming session then was that no, this board game bears absolutely no resemblance to the source material at all. There's not a hacky sack in sight, but it does capture the very same essence of the video game. Effortless, California cool. And that's a stark contrast to the linear and frustrating experience that was Sega's Video Driver. A lesson then in how to do a video board game right. And if you're still not convinced by the game, well there's always the Epix product catalogue which I've found in the box. Championship Wrestling, LA Crackdown, Impossible Mission 2, G.I. Joe, Spy v Spy 3, Death Sword. Thank you as always for watching, Cave Dwellers. Take care and surfs up. If you enjoy my content and would like to toss a coin into the hat to support the cave, then check out patreon.com/retromancave and join the official Cave Dwellers you can see on the screen now. Thank you for your support.